Good afternoon, children. Welcome to 6th standard online science class. Today we are going to start the new unit in biology, unit 2, the cell. So, what is a cell? Cell is a basic structural and functional unit of a living organism. Cell is the basic structural, functional and structural unit of a living organism. Why they are saying so? See, imagine a wall. A wall is made up of bricks. Our human body or all the living organisms in the world is made up of cells. Okay, so we can say that from the cell only it gives the structural and functional unit of our living organisms. Okay, children, so do you understood? Yes, see, here is the diagrammatic representation of a cell. It's similar to the bricks wall. Yeah, yes, good. So he is Robert Hooke, who coined the word cell. Okay, in 1665 he made some researches with cork, and he observed the cork with the microscope he has developed, and he was able to found that it was made up of cells. And since these cells have only dead cells, these cells are dead cells, he was not able to find out what is present inside the cell, and he can only trace the walls of the dead cells. Is it clear, children? So he is the man Robert Hooke. Okay, Robert Hooke. He coined the word cell. Do you understand? Yes. And he is the man called as Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Antony van Leeuwenhoek, and he only found out the or discovered the presence of single-celled organisms in a drop of water using a microscope he had developed himself. This was the beginning of the discovery of the vast world of microorganisms. So while doing some researches, he found out, and he kept a drop of water under the microscope, and he was able to see the living organisms present in that drop of water, and they are single cell. He was able to find out that those are single celled organisms. Okay, so this man Anton van Leeuwenhoek only found out or discovered the cell. So this is a sort of microscope which we are using today. This microscope has a stage. See, it has a stage, isn't it? You are able to see the stage, isn't it? So this stage now, here we can keep the objectives, which is to be specimens, which is to be observed, and you can look through the eyepiece. You can look through the eyepiece, which is a lens. Actually, that eyepiece is a lens. More than that, apart from the lens present there, it too has two more lenses present inside it, and they are called objectives. So what is the work of this lenses? They magnify, they act as a magnifying glasses and make the specimen appears larger. We align one of the objective with the specimen and eyepiece to see the specimen clearly. So we have to adjust this eyepiece so that we can see the specimen clearly. The mirror which is kept below here, no, this mirror below the stage directs light through the specimen, so it will supply or directs the light towards the stage, so that the light rays are directed towards the stage, so that you can easily visible the specimen. Okay, so this is how the microscope works. Do you understood, children? With the help of this microscope, the scientists are able to find out very tiny objects that are called as microorganisms. Now we are going to study about the structure of cell. Though our body is made up of millions of billions of cells, each and every cells are of different shape. For example, our cheek cells are flat, while muscle cells are thin, elongated and tubular. Okay. Plant cells may be rectangular, round, oval or elongated. So cells are not does not have the same shape. From this we can say. So amoebas are unicellular organism. Amoebas are unicellular organism we have studied, isn't it? So they often change their shape. Okay. Then a cell is bounded by a thin membrane called thin sac called membrane. Okay. So cell is surrounded by a thin sac which is called as membrane. Inside the membrane, a semi-fluid called cytoplasm is present. Cytoplasm is present. So this is the diagrammatic representation of a cell. So the cell is surrounded by a cell membrane, and inside the cell it contains a semi-liquid called cytoplasm. So in that cytoplasm you have some organelles. Okay, you have some organelles. These organelles, they are lie in the cytoplasm. Okay, we are going to discuss about all these organelles in detail now. Okay, first let us discuss the cell membrane. The cell membrane, where is the cell membrane? So this is the cell membrane. Okay, so this is the cell membrane. The cell membrane, which is also known as plasma membrane. The other name of cell membrane is plasma membrane. Okay, plasma membrane. So what is the function of this cell membrane? It encloses the various organelles and cytoplasms. Various organelles and cytoplasms, and it gives definite shape. So shape of the cell depends on this plasma membrane. Okay children. And also it regulates the movement of substance into and from the cell. In and out of the movement of the substance are watched or maintained by this cell or plasma membrane. Cell or plasma membrane. Okay, and these are selectively permeable membrane. Okay, it does not allow all the substance to enter or leave the cell, so it is selectively permeable. Permeable means which allow substances to pass through it freely. So to pass through the substances which are allowing the things to pass through it very easily are called permeable, but here this cell membrane does not allow all the substances. It allow only certain substances, so it is selectively permeable membrane. And also it protects the content of the cell. Content of the cell is also protected by this cell membrane. That's about cell membrane. Now cell wall. What about cell wall? Cell wall, a plant cell is enclosed not only by the plasma membrane but also by the wall. Okay, and outside the membrane, and that is called cell wall. See, this is the diagrammatic representation of plant cell. Apart from cell membrane, here is the cell membrane. Apart from the cell membrane, we have cell wall. We have outside that cell membrane. This is the cell membrane, right? This line is the cell membrane. Apart from that you have cell wall. Outside that you have cell wall. So only in plant cell this cell wall is present. Okay children, so this cell wall, the functions of cell wall is to give the definite shape to the cell, to give the definite shape to the cell, and also make the cell rigid and strong. It protects the cell from injuries. Okay, so the cell wall is freely permeable and allows the substance to enter and leave the cell. So it is easily allows the substances, so it is permeable. Okay children, so that's about cell wall. So we can say cell wall as the compound. Okay, as the compound of the boundary of the cell. The boundary of the cell, it will present only in the plant cell. It does not present in the animal cell. So this is a plant cell and this is an animal cell. So cell wall is present only in the plant cell. Okay, so the main function of the plant cell wall is to give the rigidity to the cell. Is it clear children? Yes, that sounds good. Hope you are all following me. Am I right? The next component of the cell we are going to discuss is the nucleus. The nucleus, the most important organelle, controls all the vital activities of the cell. It may be spherical or oval. It is enclosed by a membrane called nuclear membrane and is filled with a nucleoplasm, a dense semi-fluid substance. one or two small spherical bodies called nucleole, singular form is nucleus, lies within the nucleus. Okay, so both plant cell as well as animal cell has this nucleus, and this is surrounded by or enclosed by nuclear membrane, and is filled with a nucleoplasm. And some spherical bodies are present inside the nucleus, that is called to be nucleoplasm, and and that is called to be nucleole. Okay, the nucleus contains fine thread-like structure. See, look here, the fine thread-like structure is present in the inside the nucleus, and this is called as chromatin network. So this thread-like structures are called chromatin network. Before a cell divides to form new cells, the chromatin threads got coiled and become shorter and thicker, forming chromosomes. So before the cell division occurs, how does the cell divide? What is a cell division? Cell division means the multiplication of cells. Okay, so the one cell itself divides and it will be converted into two. Okay, that is called cell division. So during that time, this chromatin network, what will happen to them? They will become shorter. They get coiled. They turn like spring, and they become shorter and thicker, forming chromosomes. So each chromosome carries a large number of genes. See, we have genetic characters from our father and mother, right children? Yes. So this genetic character is due to this chromosomes. Okay, each chromosome it carries a gene. Genes control an organism's hereditary character, or the traits that are passed down from the parent cell to the new cell. So from the parents to the new, the genetic characters are carried on through this chromosomes. Is it clear? Yes, that sounds good. Then every organism is characterized by a fixed number of chromosomes. So each cell in its body has this particular number of chromosomes. So you will be studying in detail about all these things in your higher classes. For time being, you know about this nucleus and chromatin network and chromosomes. Okay children. So did you understood about this nucleus? Shall we get into the next one? Yes, that sounds good.